Hello, everyone. This is Victor Jimenez. I'm your executive director for the OUTshine LGBTQ plus Film Festival. Thank you for being here, part of our virtual Q&A. Let me introduce lead actor Thomas Pren from Why Not You?
Hi, thank you, Victor, for the invitation.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for being here today. It is greatly appreciated. First, number one, I really enjoyed the film Why Not You? It's a beautiful film, number one, but it's also, there's a lot going on with the film. It's sometimes a difficult film to watch, and I'm sure it was a very difficult film to perform. So I guess my initial first question is, how did you come to the role? Were you always thought of for the role? Was there a casting process? How did you get the role of Mario?
First of all, I met the director, Efi Romain, in Berlin. We drank a glass of wine, and I think she just wanted to say hello and to talk about the script. It was not a casting, like a traditional casting. And then on a second step, we met in Warsaw, and she had the possibility to shoot one scene, quite like a professional shooting day. And for this day, she chose me for the role for Mario. And after that day, she called me and said, "Yeah, you have the role. Let's do this together." So yeah, that was the process actually.
So that's very good. It was I guess fairly not necessarily easy, but not it's not like you had a lot of castings in the whole scenario. The role it's a difficult one. It's initially when you see Mario, you kind of figure out he's different, and in my interpretation, he was not necessarily the most likable character. But then obviously the event happens in the film with the shooting in the bar, and then he suffers from PTSD, and the role even becomes a much more difficult role. Like, just go into the process. Like, was this a difficult role for you to perform just because of all the trauma that he witnessed, he goes through, and just his experiences in the movie?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was also hard to prepare this because so much happens in his life, and that was also the interesting part for me playing Mario, because he is not kind of a cliche. He is so much more. He is introverted and extroverted at the same time. He enjoys being alone, and he likes to be with a lot of people, to dance in front of the people. So there was a lot going on, and also a lot to discuss with the director. And she also wrote the script, so that was nice. We had a lot time of preparation. Actually, we made rehearsals, which was nice, with all the actors in Vienna. We met like 2 weeks before, and yeah, the shooting period was tough. It was a lot to do, but I mean, it's nice. It's nice that you now show the movie at the festival, and we showed it already at some other festivals in Europe, so I'm happy.
Yeah, and you should be happy. Your performance was really good. I mean, you're basically almost in every scene.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
and it's not an easy role. That the other thing I liked about the film, it portrays a lot of different points of views, and there's no one winning point of view. Mario's from a small town and dealing with small town ignorance, prejudice, whatever. And then, he goes to the station, and then he discovers an old friend who's Muslim, and experiences that, and no one is good, no one is bad, everybody's brave, which is like everybody else. How was it like? And going to the I guess the Muslim religion scenes were. How are those to film? Because number one, in those scenes, and especially initially, you're in a very private place with very religious people, and then you're like this outsider looking in. And me personally watching it, there were some uncomfortable moments. Like, were there a lot of discussions with those scenes and how to perform them and be respectful of everybody, and also just portray a generally honest scene?
Yeah, it was a thin line to shoot the scenes. I remember also shooting the scene with the Muslims in front of the train station. There were a lot of like real people going there, and they thought that it's real. And on the next day, it was also written in the local newspaper that people try to sell the Quran. So yeah, it was intense and funny at the same time. Um, but most of all, it was a decision of the director. I just stayed in my character and tried to 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 stay in the character and do this as good as possible.
No, and it was really good. The other scene, again, it was a difficult scene to watch, but I thought it was a very powerful scene. Was the scene, the funeral, the cemetery,
Mm,
um, when you play the record and then you go there.
mm.
I guess just talk me through how it was filming that scene, and what like the emotion you brought to it, and that whole the whole scenario.
Mm. I can remember it was one of the coldest days. Um, it was also nice because all the extras, or a lot of the extras, were actually people from this village in South Tyrol in the mountains. So also for them was a bit strange to see me stand there with the music box in the hand, and yeah, but it all felt quite naturally. So because all these extras were so nice, and also because they were real, as I said, they were living there in this village. It was, I think, also special for them to experience a shooting day and a camera and all of that came into the movie, I think.
And then what was your favorite scene in the movie? Like what scene? Like when you read the script, you're like, oh, I can't wait to perform this scene. Like what was your favorite scene in the movie and why?
Mm, it's actually a really small one. Well, there are many, but there was a one scene quite in the beginning. After he worked and cleaned up, he was standing in front of the door and smoking, and it was written that it's cold outside, he's smoking, he has no jacket, and he's dreaming of to be somewhere else, to be a dancer, to and not to stay here in this village. Can you remember the scene?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Unfortunately, not.
Yeah,
In full
yeah. Actually, it's
disclosure,
a really small scene. It's a
yeah,
really small scene.
yeah. It's been a
But
while since I've seen the film, so that's one part of it probably.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but no worries. And it's always I always kind of when I talk to actors and directors, I always like asking, what was your favorite scene? Because it sometimes it is those small scenes, and I'm always curious about the thought process of
Yeah, because it explains this nostalgia that he has to be somewhere else, and or this desire to be to live somewhere else, to have friends, to be loved, and that was everything I tried to put in this scene where he's standing outside smoking the cigarette in the cold.
the you made a very good comment there. Like the character just wanted to be loved, and he's a
Mm,
and also another interesting thing you mentioned earlier. Like he's interesting. He's introvert, but he's extroverted when it comes to entertainment. Like he's introverted. He has the strength within him to go that mile, to walk in the middle of the fair just with the white wig and with the
mm,
shirt off and all that. Um, and a lot of I'm glad you said that. Like I hadn't really thought about that. That he's in the end a character that just wants to be loved and find that affection.
mm,
And you were looking for the Lance character, and then obviously that was not meant to be. And I just really liked also the effort that the director, since she wrote it, and also you as a performer brought into like showing the effects of the PTSD, the post traumatic stress that Mario goes through, which I think a lot of people forget about. Like this was a traumatic event, and most people, we'll move on with your life, and sometimes you just
mm.
can't easily move on from that. Was that difficult for you as a performer to bring to the role, like someone that went through something so horrible and is still dealing with it, and having people that just like almost like just move on with your life or whatever?
Mm. Well, that was, yeah, it was a hard part because Mario is asking himself, why me, and why not, like, why the other one and not me? Why am I the one who survived? And that's also what the village asks him all the time. So actually, it was hard to play this character also because he had no person that lost him or like where he can talk about everything. So I remember at the shooting days, I also was actually quiet and alone and tried to be with myself doing the work. So, but actually we had a really nice team, I would lie. So after shooting, we went for dinner, and it was great. We had a great time. But yeah, shooting these scenes was not easy.
This is more my curiosity, and it's not a heavy scene, but the scene that you're running and then you kind of leap over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
How many takes was that, out of curiosity? Were you able to nail it the first time, or was it you had to keep jumping over that fence over and over again?
I think we did it quite fast.
Yeah.
It was not that hard, or that we didn't shoot it that much.
Yeah, and for some reason, I think that scene just stuck in my head, just because the movie has a certain pace. It's a very it's not, for lack of a better word, it's not an action movie, right? And then you have all of a sudden this action scene where you're running and then you jump over. I was like kind of curious. I was wondering, I wonder if they nailed that the first time, or poor Thomas had to just constantly be just jumping over that fence over and over again. It was
no, but I had to run in front of the car when I'm after the funeral, when I'm running away, and that was really exhausting, because the camera was in the car going in front of me, and I had to run like crazy. And I remember that after that day, I was actually dead. It was so tough.
Yeah, understandable.
Not mentally, but just yeah. I felt the pain in the whole body, and yeah, it's true. I actually forgot about it.
Well, I brought you back that memory. I noticed I checked out your IMDb profile. Was this your first feature role? I know you have television work you do, but is this your first film role?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, excellent. Well, an excellent performance for it. And then, do you have? And obviously, 2020 was a very bizarre year, and 2021 we're finally kind of starting to move forward with it. Do you have anything down the pipe in terms of your next roles that you'll be doing?
Yes, I'm leaving tomorrow for going to Vienna to prepare another movie. I'm really excited about it. It's a small, fine, poetic love story playing in Vienna. So I'm really looking forward to. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And then, well, thank you very much for your time here, Tomas. I'm pretty sure our audience enjoyed Why Not You. I definitely know we're impressed by your performance. I definitely was. And I want to thank you for being here today to be part of this virtual Q&A.
Thank you so much.
And then for our audience, we're going to play the trailer for it right now. In case you haven't watched the film yet, you're seeing the Q&A first. That way you can actually still have a time to watch the film. Again, thank you, Tomas. And here we have the trailer.
Was übst du gerade? So John Travolta-Style.
Dopo 10 anni ho rivisto l'amico Bob con una giacca di cuoio con scritto su.
Nach die Feiertage muss ich gleich nach Rom wegen einem Casting. Komm halt mit.
I was falling in dark hands. All of this will ever be set in stone.
Mario di Fox. Senti, nel caso di servizio la gente chiama.
I just wanna get away.
Es ist alles so schnell gegangen.
Was hab's denn in der Bar gemacht?
Lei sa che Mario era coinvolto nell'attentato di Roma? Ja, was ist denn los mit deinem lieben Gott?
Der Herrgott gibt's und der Herrgott nimmt's.
Requiem per 6 milioni d'anime che non hanno mausoleo di marmo e che malgrado la sabbia infame hanno fatto crescere 6 milioni d'alberi. Inshallah.